Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, great and wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world. I greet you according to your time zone.
Now we are not beggars. All this an attitude of begging. He has never used us in
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. I hope I was actually
continent.
okay, correct. Great and wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world, I greet you according to your place of domicile. I welcome you to this program. While you are joining us, share the video, invite others to join. We are going to be here for like 30 minutes, I believe. In the next 30 minutes, Mazi China Sanworu will be online. We will connect to them. We will connect with them and bring it to you live and direct. So wherever you are joining from, share this video, invite others to join on YouTube or on Facebook. Like the video on YouTube for the algorithm to continue to do the sharing. Once you join, click the like button. If you're on Facebook, share the video, invite others to join. Let us actually use this 30 minutes to actually clear some confusions, because there is something I have noticed. I noticed about our people who maybe does not understand the meaning of Biafra, who does not understand the difference between Biafra and Igbo. That is the confusion that I am actually here to clear up, because it has been confusing so many of our people. Nevertheless, don't worry about what these people are doing with our social platforms. We will continue. They will, by now they're supposed to have understand, or they're supposed to know that I am not moved by, whatever number they give to me in that social platform. It is not what is our drive. Our drive is to release the message. One day, someday, somehow, it is going to reach its recipient. We must continue, and consistency we must actually follow. Of course, great and wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world. The difference between Igbo and the Biafra. Of course, I touched on it yesterday during my yesterday's broadcast, but I want to specify on it this few minutes that I have left. What is Biafra? What is Igbo race? Biafra, you see today, Biafra is a nation. Igbo race is an ethnic group inside a nation. So many people does not understand the real reason for, the reason why we are called Biafra. So many people may say that Biafra is a name derived from the Portugal, and if you look at it, when Nelly started preaching her Idu and her Ubo, all these things, so many people got carried away, believing that it is actually the spirit that is telling her, or that it is whichever thing which you might seem to be God that is actually directing her. There was nothing directing her. It could be that what she was saying, she might be saying some of them that is, historically correct, but the timing and what was actually the reason for bringing them up, because you cannot write a homework and you will pass it and mark it for yourself, because that was a homework Mazen Nnamdi Kanu gave to us. We should go and understand the connection between Igodo and the borders of the Benin Kingdom. We need to know the secret of Igodo, the history behind Igodo. And we will now contextualize that history with the relationship we share with Oduduwa brothers. and people, some of these people in the border of, Benin City or Benue State and Oduduwa land. These people came up with a different narrative. When they came up with this narrative, what they did was to actually find a way to present it in order to use it to hijack what we are doing. Remember that this is all about mixing truth with lies, presenting truth with, without a good, how do I put it? If I say that you are presenting something to me, part of it is the truth. And now you want to use the truth that you have actually featured to me in order to use it to manipulate what I know. That's exactly what they try to do. They use this igodomi igodo, idu, and all the rest. Try to use it to actually deceive Biafrans. But unfortunately, they could not succeed. They tried all their possible best. They could not succeed. And I am well aware, if they had good intentions in doing what they were doing, believe you me, they were going to succeed. But they never had good intentions. That was the reason why they could not succeed, and they will never succeed, because in this struggle for freedom, in this quest for freedom, we must be whiter than white and whiter than snow. YouTube is very, very harsh on me in this past month. I don't know what I have done to YouTube. I have not been playing any video that doesn't belong to me, which I don't have any stroke on my YouTube though. So YouTube, is deciding that they will not bring the algorithm will not share the content I am playing there, but that's okay. We'll continue. It will not deter us because we are already, ready to release this message. So it doesn't matter. So the most important thing is that when you talk about Idu, Igodomi Igodo, you talk about Benin Kingdom, you talk about the relationship between Oduduwa and the Biafrans. That's when you will realize it was an assignment given to our people to go and find out the historical fact behind this conundrum. Now, in that regard, they now, wanted to take advantage of such assignment in order to maneuver and override the authenticity of IPOB, in order to hijack and change the name of IPOB. In the name, they have found the truth. So that is the reason why they did what they did, claiming they have found the truth, claiming that they have discovered what is undiscoverable. The most important thing is that if you are an Igbo, your Igbo-ness is not Biafra. If you are if you are from Igodomi Igodo, your Igodomi Igodo-ness is not being, it is not what is called Biafra. If you are from any place from Niger Delta, you are from the coastal region, from the Middle Belt side, it is not your ethnicity that determine what is Biafra or what Biafra represent. Your Igbo-ness is your ethnicity, then your Biafra-ness is your country. That is exactly what happened in 1967 when Ojukwu decided that all this marginalization, such as the one you are seeing now, some of the Yoruba people doing against the Igbos, destroying their market, victimizing them, demolishing their houses, in order for them to know that they are not indigenous. First of all, what they did before they started it, they put something in the public domain with a proxy saying that Lagos is a no man's land, just for them to establish this criminal act that are establishing. It was actually the stepping stone to these criminal activities they have established against the Igbo race, against the Igbo entrepreneurs. So, in this regard, we are actually telling you that Ojukwu declared Biafra. Who brought that name Biafra? It is somebody from coastal region. It is somebody from coastal region who suggested the name Biafra. So many of you might say that the name Biafra originated from a Portuguese word. The name Biafra, whether it originated from Portuguese word, whether it originated from anywhere, the most important thing is that for you to understand the meaning of that name. The meaning of that name, every name has its own origin. If your name is Gina, it has its own origin. If your name is actually Akujuobi, it has its own origin. If you check the history of your name, first of all, it might be translated in English before they give you the history of that name. Every name has history. So in that regard, somebody will not come and tell you just because this name originated its word that it is now, it means that we are answering the name given to us by Portuguese. The Portuguese, they name so many regions of Africa the Bight of Biafra. Does not mean that that name is actually does belong to the Portuguese. And we are not fighting for the name. We are not fighting for the name. Biafra is a name that we are using for our freedom. If we come up tomorrow, we can even come up with another name when we get our sovereignty. We can even name our country another name. So those of you who are so scared when you hear Biafra, those of you who are being poisoned, your mind are poisoned by this Nelly and the Idu Mota Pomo boys. Those of you who are actually biased because they tell you Biafra is this, Idu is that, Edo is that, Edo. So, I want you to start coming back. Because what they did, they were playing with your intelligence. They were playing with your mind. The name that we are using to fight for our freedom, it is not necessarily that we are going to answer this name if we get our sovereignty. To answer, we might come up with another name tomorrow. People actually get their independence, change the street names, change the name of the country. We don't need anybody to give us permission to change the name that we want to answer. But as for now, what we know that we are fighting, we are under this canopy of Biafra, which Ojukwu declared in 1967. And it actually, it was a nation from 1967 to 1970 when the war ended. The war just ended and go into a systematic war. That's what happened. The war just ended in the eyes of the people. But we've been fighting a systematic war, Fulani against Igbos, Fulani against coastal region, Fulani against Middle Belt. This is the war we are fighting. If you look at the way people are dying in the Middle Belt, you will know the war never ended. If you look at the way people are actually being marginalized in the coastal region, that they own the oil. You know, I met another Fulani who went to abroad. You know, when you get a very, very, educated Fulani who is not affiliated with any political thing. I met this guy, this Fulani boy, or this Fulani guy. I may say he is I'm not Fulani man, because if I call him guy, it may sound immature. So let me call him Fulani man. We were talking. When we were talking, I asked him, I pretended as if I was not aware of what's going on there. I pretended as if I wasn't from that, geographical location. So we were talking. I asked him what exactly is going on in Nigeria. He is a Fulani, he is a Muslim, and he knows many things about Nigeria, even though he is not originally from Nigeria. He is from Ikoto, is from Guinea, is it Guinea Conakry or Equatorial Guinea or something. He is from there. But he stayed in Nigeria because his mother is a Fulani from Nigeria also. He told me the history. He told me everything that, he told me that Fulanis and Hausas, they are now the same people. That Fulanis and Hausas, they joined force. They call themselves the majority. He told me that there are people who are called the minority, who are the eastern region. That these people are being marginalized, but they are minority. He didn't know I was part of these people he's talking about. We were just discussing African politics. Then I had to now swing into that topic. Immediately when I went into that topic, he started talking. He told me how the same thing happening in Cameroon, that the southern Cameroon and the northern, and the, did he say southern Cameroon and western Cameroon or whatever, that they are fighting, that the ones where they are fighting, it's a minority. So he told me what is happening within that Sahel region. He told me that even though these people that are being marginalized in Nigeria, they are the owner of the oil, but they are being marginalized because their number is, they are the minority. Then I asked him, oh, really? Are they really the minority? He said, yes, that's why they are being marginalized. This African politics of minority and majority, that is the reason why these people are being marginalized. Then I asked him, so what exactly is, who exactly are the rich people in Nigeria? I thought it is those areas that you people are marginalizing. He said, no, they are not even on the first, second, and third rich people in Nigeria, that Fulani is the richest man in Africa. He called me Dangote. He said he was not even Dangote. He mentioned the name of Dangote's father. He talked about Dan Tata. He said Dangote's father was richer than Dangote. This guy was telling me all these things. Then I asked him, why is it that what happened within the Nigerian election? You know what he said? He said that, some of the street boys, they support Tinubu because they say that Tinubu is good for street. They support Tinubu saying that Tinubu is a street guy. He will understand the street boys. And I asked him, so who do you think that won the election? He said to me, he said, Manshallah, that Tinubu, I believe Tinubu might win the election, but Tinubu na guy man. He said, Manshallah, Tinubu na guy man. That guy, he has too much money. But I know that the street boys supported Tinubu, that Tinubu could win the election. I said, but I saw that the case is in the court. You know what he told me? He said that now the case is in the court. That case is just, they quash the case. That these people are minority. They can't get to anywhere. This guy was speaking to me, telling me as if he is speaking to somebody who does not know, or who is just, who is just concerned about African politics and the happenings in Africa. He was speaking to me as if, I don't know how to actually repeat stories I heard from people, but I read meanings and I bring the meanings to you. Most of the time, I might not be able to quote him verbatim, but I read meanings of what he says. He said to me that Africa politics is very bad, that he knows that Fulanis and Hausas, they are now one people. They form the majority. They form the majority, that they are the ones, marginalizing the other part. What I did not, I forgot to ask him, why is the census being delayed? Since Fulani is, I didn't ask him that one because I know he will start thinking that I know much. There is something about it. So I didn't go deeper. I was just actually surfacing, asking him few questions because the census of Nigeria is postponed. You know the reason why it was postponed? It was postponed because they are so scared to find out who exactly is the majority and who exactly is the minority. That is the reason why they were so scared to do the census under Buhari regime. He passed every of this headache to Tinubu. Instead of releasing Ohamadike, he passed it through to Tinubu because he knows it is Ohamadike is Idudu Benam. You cannot do anything about this Idudu Benam. So it is something that scares Nigeria the most. It was Ohamadike. That is the reason why Ohamadike and this census, because when they announced census, they thought our people were going to be quiet and say we will count the census. They don't know that what it says is that knowledge will increase in the last days. Knowledge, and that knowledge has increased in our people. The only knowledge that need to increase more on our people is knowledge of oneness and knowledge of understanding each other and knowledge of tolerance towards each other. Not what we are hearing in you go to another man country, you will be fighting each other, killing each other. It is quite, it is quite abominable. It is something that is not supposed to be spoken about. It stinks when you hear them. When you see a Igbo man, they are killing each other. When another person default with an Igbo man will try to make peace with those persons. But when your own person default, you want to kill him because you want him to respect you. You don't pray home. That is the reason why the people from the West, they are people who understand that you go out to exploit and come home to enjoy. But our own is that we exploit at home and go to our personal home and enjoy. Forgetting that those people you have exploited, you rendered them poor. As you are rendering them poor, they are actually going to, if there is any easy access to get into you, to devour you and take what you have, they will do it because you cannot bring a lion or you cannot live next to a zoo that has a small wall. The worst part of it, those lions in that zoo are not being fed properly. Because if they are not being fed properly, one day they will jump the zoo wall in order to go and look for a greener pasture. These are something that our black people does not understand. For you to be a successful person, make others to be successful. For you to be a rich person, make others to be rich as well. Help others. Not really make them. The whole communities must be content with what they have, so that they will not be eyeing yours. Once you turn your back, other below than Amboko. That is not what you want as a rich person. You want your peace of mind. That is the reason why instead of you praying each other to be rich, support each other so that all of you will be rich. Don't pray on each other. You are not each other's enemy. How this world is actually positioned, it is indeed a world of exploitation, but it is only the West that understand how this exploitation game works. They exploit you and take it back home. You are exploiting each other in order to rise above each other. They exploit you to rise above you. That is the reason why no matter how much resources you have coming out of your ground, you are not industrialized. You cannot make use of them to create a finished product. Rather, you have to sell them raw. Sell your raw material. Now they make a finished product, you buy back. Just like what's going on in Nigeria. Your crude oil is being exported. They will export your crude oil and now they will now buy back the finished product. Is that not, what do you call it? Is that not stupidity? Instead of them creating an atmosphere that will enable them to do, now we have this crude oil. You don't have it and you need it. It is your essential, it is a commodity that you desire the most. So what we are going to do, we are going to have a shared interest. We are not going to talk money here. We are not going to actually make this crude oil to become to be sold in dollar. What we want from you, bring us a mine. We give you a quantity of a crude oil like this. Introduce this crude oil. We're still coming out live. I think we are having problem with. Introduce to us a refinery. Use the money you have. Build us a refinery. We give you crude oil in payback. We pay you back with crude oil. Then we will own this refinery. Instead of exporting your crude oil and buy back the finished product, then you say you are putting subsidy. What happened to you building refinery? This refinery that is built by a Fulani man, did he bring down heaven in order to build that refinery? The game of the elite. Every time, each and every day, all they are looking for is to make sure that they put you down while exploiting you, because when they take your raw material, it is worthless than when they are done with using it to create a finished product. When they finish the product is now double, times 4 of what they paid you for your raw material. So who is losing and who is gaining? You will continue to be on the periphery because you don't know how to negotiate business in the favor of your country and your own people. Whenever you will realize how to negotiate a business in the favor of your own people, that day is the day you are going to actually start, being great nations in Africa. But as long as you do not know exactly how to negotiate a business with these people, you negotiate business with emotion. Sometimes you negotiating this business because it is a business you want it to favor you and your family, because you will hear that money I don't know. Are we still there? We had some technical glitch. We had some technical glitch, and our time is almost run down. I hope we are still on Facebook. Are we still on Facebook? I believe we are still on YouTube. So, all right. Sorry for that interruption. It was actually a serious interruption, but sorry about that. So, as I was saying, this fine finished product, when they finish it with your own resources, they will now sell it to you double the price of what you sold them the raw material. Why don't you learn how to renegotiate? Why don't you learn how to negotiate? Because most of the time they will tell you now, we are going to come, if we want to bring this industry to you, we will be in charge of this industry. We will be mining your mining, you know, they will take care of your mining company. They will take care of your, natural resources. They will be the one extracting these raw materials from the ground or from the sea, while making use of it, exporting it, now giving you your own share. No. Why can't they get these raw materials and teach you how to refine this raw material, or invest in, in the industry that refines this raw materials and get their pay with the raw material? It is like a trade by barter. That trade by barter system, it can never go the old way, because this is mostly the way, the model that the Chinese are using to actually bring their relationship in some of the African countries. And that model is something that actually benefit Africa. It is something that benefits Africa and benefits China. But these people, they will always be symbiotic in the type of relationship they create with you. They will create the relationship where they will only be benefiting, but you will never benefit. So that is exactly the reason why I am seeing this Alaba place they have, they claim they are demolishing. Probably they have demolished that place in order to build something there. And when they build something there, they will now charge you if you want to be there as an indigene. Maybe they will charge you small if you want to be there as a foreigner, because that's what it is. They will charge you higher, and you will pay more tax and more tariffs. Now, in this regard, you will find out that this is the type of industrialization that Bill Gates was talking about. Maybe they will build a mall, or they will build maybe they will build a mall, or they will invest and build some something that they know that will attract Igbo people and that will attract Biafrans. I want you to understand what happens. I want you to understand that in some certain areas, even in the US, in some certain areas, when the Europeans are living in that area, or they develop such area, and they don't want black people to come there, you know how they chase them? Because there is physical racism is actually not permitted. It is actually systematic racism. What they will do, they will make sure that if you are a black person, if the house is being sold at $1 million, if you are a black person, they will sell it to you at $5 million. Of course, you as a black person, you don't have a choice. You want to stay next to the masters. You will be paying without knowing the real amount they are selling it to each other. They will exploit you. So systematically, this is exactly what they want to bring to you in Lagos. It is a system that, people like me, I understand it very well, because it is a politics that they are playing, white against black. It is the politics they are playing, the West against Africa. And that is the reason why this politics you see, for you to actually, for you to maneuver and make sure it does not actually destroy or affect you, you need to make sure you know how to do your negotiation from a business. And that negotiation, the most important part of that negotiation is for you to negotiate. Since you do not have the cash, negotiate with what you have. If you negotiate with what you have, you gain what you do not have. That was exactly how our ancestors did it. And they were the greatest nation in the world. Because some people came from Caucasus Mountain and decided they need to go for conquest. Because our people were contempt. They did not know when they were invaded. They have confidence of themselves. And that is exactly what is ruining us today. We believe that we are wise. We believe that we know it all. We do have overconfidence in ourselves while we are actually burning. We become Ezonyagwanam over time. That is the reason why people will be questioning, telling you that they are Igbo, they are not Biafra. That talk about your Igbo-ness before you talk about Biafra. That is idiocy. You know why I call it idiocy? Because you being in Nigeria does not stop you from being a Biafra. These are some of the things bunch of confused people are doing. I don't want to insult them. The reason why I don't want to insult them is that I am just taking it easy with them. They are just ignorant. Ignorant is a problem. Of course, I know too. I too know is the problem of our people. I too know. If we can do away with this I too know problem, we are going to go a very long way. But this I too know is our problem, and it is eating us from inside. It is destroying us. I too know makes you ignorant. And when you are ignorant, you will be ignorant of the truth. You will be ignorant of the fact that you don't know everything, that you need to learn. You can even learn from anybody. But because I too know, it will not actually enable you to learn. It is the problem, and it leads us to ignorance. It leads us to self-competitions. It leads us to self-hate. It leads us to self-exploitations. That is the reason why people will tell you, I see, I saw. That is the reason why people will come up to tell you, I see, I saw, I see this, I see that, I carry power, just like America carry dollar. When they don't carry shishi, God told them, who gave them who opened that eyes for them to see God? Moses did not even see God like a face. God came as a lake of fire in front of Moses. But today, everybody, God is telling them. That is how where our ignorance has led us to. It leads you to self-destruction. It leads you to manipulation. You manipulate yourself. You lie to yourself. You digest what you are not supposed to be digesting. That is the reason why somebody will tell you, no, we need to talk about Igbo, not Biafra. That person is a stupid person. He does not understand, because probably if you think about it, you don't know which angle he is coming from. Many bloggers are actually you don't know when they are bribed. They will be talking something that makes sense. Within this time, within the next minute, you find them talking from both sides of their mouth. Of course, you know that the current people who are in the position of power, they control media in Nigeria. So if you see somebody start talking from both sides of their mouth, pity them. You should know that there is something wrong with the brain of a black man. They will always see themselves as their problem. They will always turn against themselves, because there is inadequate opportunity that is made available for them. 200, they just make opportunity of 40,000 available for 200 million people. So they tell them survival of the fittest. If you fight hard, you get it. Why won't you pray on yourself? This is the problem of our people. Inadequate resources that will be able to service everybody. As in Enwaro na-ebute ntụkwụ ọnụ. Oyibo man understood that very well. That is the reason why Oyibo man, that is the reason why, the colonialists made sure that you are being given inadequate, or, everything you have, it is inadequate, it is inefficient. Everything you have, you need to fight with each other. That is the reason why you don't have a lot of option. Whichever option somebody finds, you will now go and saturate it. When you saturate it, you start competing, killing each other in order to make it stand. This is our problem. Inadequate, insufficient, resources, insufficient opportunities. We are giving it at a very, we are giving everything at a very, very low quantity. And now they say, go and share it amongst them yourselves. You won't even breathe. It is finished because it is Ofonyi Silora. They always tell one person to go and cook for the whole world in Africa. That is when your presidents, your leadership comes in. Your leadership is that one person that is cooking for 200 million. And 200 million, it is never enough. 200 million does not want to involve themselves in these leadership activities. They don't want to involve themselves in something that will take them out of these insufficient funds, insufficient opportunities, insufficient resources. They don't want to actually engage in order to solve it. When you try to show them a way to solve it, they will look at you from head to toe. Why will you be this person? Maybe this person, the way he is actually speaking his own grammar, he cannot give me a sign, he cannot give me any opportunity, he cannot teach me. I am wiser than him. It is that overconfidence that destroys us. That is one reason why, in this regard, when we talk about bigger visit to Nigeria in the next to the Nigeria billionaire, you will understand. So many people who are overly educated will say, no, he can bring investment in Nigeria and give people employment. He can bring this, he can bring that, without actually checking the rippling effect, because they are overly educated. Of course, it is a Western education that we attend. So everything we think about West. Now you will not understand the rippling effect after a while, because it is all about now. That is always what we actually fight for, what we are going to eat now. We have never, make it a point of duty. Forget about those who will say, I am building an empire, I am doing this, I am doing that. Forget about those people. Those people, you see, the empire they are building, it is still an insufficient empire that is going to cater for their family. Yes, they have house in Dubai, house one in America, have one train in Banana Island, have one in the Victoria Island. They call it an empire, without knowing if you give birth to a useless son, that's the end of it. Because the type of empire your people are building, it is an empire that somebody can sell, and one person will wake up one day, sell all of them, everything is over. This is the type of empire that they are building. Let me check if Mazi Chinas Anworu is online already, so that we will connect with them. All right, we are still waiting for them. So, in this regard, our people need to understand that being overly educated, knowing that you are attending Western education and you are coming to live in Africa because Africa is your home, that Western education that you have attended will never allow you to understand the model of your problem and the model of the solution you are going to seek for. Because most of the time, you want to apply, I keep on saying this, you want to apply the solution the US apply. You want to use the solution that Britain used. And at the end of the day, what happens is that now it is coming back to haunt you because you are not in line. You are not in line with the model that is befitting to your problem. You are using the model that is fitting the style of problem US have. So this is actually the problem we're having in Africa. So you are overly educated. You being overly educated will be seeing it as the way the American or the US economy, economics, professor of economics actually analyze their market. Professor of economics analyze how they are going to solve their economic challenges. It is the same way you are going to apply in your own land because you don't have your own say. You are not your own, you are not in charge. They are in charge. Whenever, even if they want to implement a situation that will be catastrophic, knowing that you are going to follow it, they will implement a catastrophic situation, knowing you are going to follow it. These people are very rich economy. If they decide that they have to give each and everybody $500, they will not go down. It will not affect them. It is what they make from me, and you. They will give to themselves. While now increasing their, their monetary policy, it is now bringing financial constraint to people while they are sending a relief measure, putting a relief measure in place in order for their people to actually have a relief. But you will continue consistently following what they are doing, making more of your people to be impoverished. Just like what Tinubu is doing today, trying to demolish some Alaba market to hurt Igbo through this man of Lagos State, his boy. If you remember during the NSAS protest, you find out that these two people were the mastermind of those who were crippled during that NSAS protest, who died during that NSAS protest. So these are the same people who made sure that during that NSAS, you were ruined, you were killed. They are the same people. So these two people, they are now coming here in the name of they want to revenge the NSAS protest. These are the people you make your president. These are the people you call your leader. Leaders that come to revenge. Leaders that come to tell you, if you don't vote for me, you are not part of my government. The same thing Buhari did. Those that didn't vote for me. This one came in, he is doing it with action. He did not say it. At least the Fulani guy said it before he joined his ancestors. And they cloned him to come back. So the most, the worst part of, what these people are doing right now, it is that they are putting it in action. Those that did not vote for me, they vote for their own people. So they are now making sure that they oppress you. Those that actually promoted the NSAS 2020, those people, they are being dealt with. Because they call it is in Igbo NSAS. It was no longer NSAS that every Nigeria got involved. It is an Igbo coup. Because it is going to be seen as a coup somehow. Let's check again if we have joined. All right. So, in this regard, you will understand that anything that happens in Nigeria, they call it anything that is actually people come to do to demonstrate their right as people. You know what they will call it? They will call it Igbo coup. They will call it Igbo destabilization. They will say the Igbo want to hijack this country. The Igbo is waging war against this country. Just like that pig in the creek, Asare Dokubo. And he will come and tell you, you people are dying water. You people are telling us Some people are saying if Igbo this do this, Igbo that, Igbo that. When Peter Obi was contesting to be the president of Nigeria, Asaredo Kubo opened his mouth to say, if Peter Obi become president of Nigeria, that he will chase him away. Don't you see it is an insult to Igbo race also? But, we don't care because he is speaking to politicians who are the same people who were using him, who are the same people who are, whom he is actually, working for. So whatever they do within their political campaign and this, it is part of their politics they play. They do intimidation, they kill each other, they actually victimize each other in order to get to the position where they want to be your supreme God. Because when they get to that position, they have automatically become your supreme God. They are not in that position to do something that will be in benefit of you and your children or anything that is around you. It is everything that is going to be beneficial to them. And that is the reason why we are here now to tell you that enough is enough. It is time for you to get involved. Not when somebody rise up to do something that is going to actually, work on your behalf, you will rise up to sabotage it. Just like Ono Wibo was talking rubbish. He doesn't know what is Biafra. That is Igbo-ness. That is the people need to talk about their Igbo-ness before they go to Biafra. Who told you Igbos are the only Biafra that exists? Who told you? That is ignorant of so many of our Igbo brothers. They are so ignorant that sometimes you try to caution them or you try to actually educate them. They will be so ignorant. How, these are, I will not be surprised if I say that they have sponsored him to come and start talking rubbish. Because once they look at your followers, they see that you have up to 100 to sponsor you, to actually attract you to start talking from both sides of your mouth. It is very, very easy. But that money they are giving these bloggers, how long are they going to eat this money? How long? You eat that money, highest you eat it 1 year, or you drive a big car. After driving that car, you are broke again. Our people need to start thinking. You need to start thinking for future. No longer now. If you are driving that car, next year, a new model will come in. Your car is out of date. If you are using iPhone 15, have you used iPhone 17? If you are using iPhone 12, did you use iPhone 15? No, you haven't. So whatever they are giving you now, it is something that is momentarily. It is something that is temporal. It is not going to be up to date every year. Any Mercedes car, any Mercedes Benz that is manufactured today, you know what it takes Mercedes to actually remanufacture another one? If it takes them so long, it takes them another 2 years. But they build cars every year. If it doesn't take them long, it takes them 2 years. Because once that one is into the market, they take that engine, build another new shell, another new shape, use the same engine, plot there. That is the same way every of all these car companies, how they actually get your mind to it. We are driving 2020. What about, have you driven 2024? No, you haven't. You need to drive it. So that money they give you will only drive for you 2020. Is it going to drive 2021 for you? The answer is no. You see, is a happiness that is actually, it is temporal happiness. It does not last. So why then are you selling your future for something that is not going to last for you? I am talking to those bloggers. Today they are here. One leg here, one leg there. Sometimes they consolidate with you because they want to, if they don't know what to say, they consolidate with you. Tomorrow they are against you. These are inconsistent set of human beings. And cannot actually tolerate, we don't tolerate this type of people in our land. They are asking you, Biafra. Who told you Biafra is of Igbo ethnicity only? Biafra is of Eastern region. So go and do your Igbo-ness inside your kitchen and your bathroom. When you're done with your Igbo-ness, whenever you want to talk about nation, you come close, we talk about nation. Not when you are doing your Igbo-ness, you want to come and tell us we need to do our Igbo-ness, not Biafra. It means that something is wrong with you. Go and do your Igbo-ness and say no to one Nigeria. Then it will make sense of whatever you are talking about against Biafra. You are asking what is the origin of Biafra? What is the origin of Biafra? And when the state of Israel was created 1945. Is that the type of history that you know? State of Israel being created. The fact that state of Israel being created, do you not remember that there was a man called Israelite in the Bible, in the Old Testament, in the book of Genesis? Have you forgotten there is a man called Israelite that you are claiming the state of Israel was actually created in 1945 by Britain? So that now informed you that this Israel we talk about, it actually started in existence since 1945. No, these are actually, all this ignorant philosophy that they feed to our people, and our people will buy it. Take your Igbo-ness to your pocket. We are talking Biafra. Take your whatever ethnic group or your language to your pocket. What we are talking is Biafra, our nation that everybody is equal into. That is what we are actually referring to. Where everyone will be equal in the eyes of the law. That is the type of nation, that is freedom we are fighting for. We are not fighting for freedom for you to come and tell me you are Igbo man. And because you are Igbo man, you are intelligent more than a Urobo man. Or because you are Igbo man, you are intelligent more than a man that is from Igodomigodo. Or because you are Igodomigodo, you are intelligent more than Igbo man. No! It is a place where every man will be equal in the eyes of the law. That is the nation we are looking for, and that is what we are building to achieve. And that is the reason why you will hear me every day coming in front of this mic and speaking on top of my voice. It affects my actually vocal cord while trying to educate ignorant set of black people who cannot reason. The problem we have as a black nation is that we have sold our intelligence and we bought ignorance, and we believe that we have sold our intelligence. We are no longer intelligent anymore. But we see ourselves as the best. We see ourselves as we are the richest. We are this one. We are the most business-minded. We are this. We praise ourselves. It is good to have confidence on yourself, but overly confidence of yourself, becomes ignorant. Ọkwa ya wụ data eze onye agwana m na ọnyụcha nsị bụrụ na nika na-ajụ ya ọsị onye agwana ya oluzie mgbe everybody gbawali ọsọ dịka otu ọ dị na Nigeria now. Onye ọbụla na-agbaziri ndị Igbo ọsọ. Ignorant from your politician who think they know better. Onwe ka esi eme ya. There is a way we do it. Those sophisticated morons who see themselves as sophisticated intellect, they are sophisticated morons. Starting from Ojuzo Kalu to Dave Umahi, to Imo State criminal called Hope Uzodinma. That one is a criminal. He's an ex-convict. He's a criminal. So whatever he is doing today, it is as a result of him being a criminal. So you cannot actually say it is because of what. It is as a result of him being a natural bandit from birth. So whatever he is doing, he is birthright. All we need to do it is actually to unify ourselves and remove every, we remove every chaff that is among the wheat, so that we will build our nation. We will build the best nation in Africa. Because if we are not able to remove these people, if we cannot separate chaff from the wheat, I believe you me, they will destabilize. The neo-colonial power will continue to use these people to destabilize our nation building. That is the reason why we will root them out. The change, it is only now for them to change. Because at the time they might want to change, it will be very difficult for them. They shouldn't think that we are building a nation that one person will come and be acting like a supreme, and because you believe you are rich more than others, you will be one Nijenga. And we will actually have, in that regard, we might even have a nation where we actually prosecute politicians for treason. We will have a treasonable offense, where politicians, anybody who loot from the country, anybody who loot state-owned money, anybody who loot what belongs to the society, that person will go through a treasonable trial. If we found them guilty, we put their head on the chopping block. We don't need to smile. That is how you root evil people amongst you. Because all this killing, political killing, we will not tolerate such rubbish in our land. Just like the one Simon Ekpa and his own group are doing. All those ones. All those people, they will be dealt with amicably. Forget about all these things that it forget about how decorated they might appear to be. Forget about the name they are giving to themselves. It is Okafanebuwankita. That is what they are giving to themselves. I was thinking, Prime Minister of Bliji. Okafanebuwankita. Time will come when we'll deal with these people, because at the end of the day, we are coming to Biafra land. That is where everything will actually happen. Everybody will submit their report card. You will be dealt with according to your report. That is exactly what we are going to do. All these people you see, so many of you are so scared, but you don't understand. You don't understand. You are so scared, you might be undermining the fact that we are going to deal with all these criminals, all these people who are actually undermining what we are. We are going to deal with them. You will be asking when is Biafra coming? You will, because you are it will happen, and we will root out all the chaff from this wheat in order to drive our agenda that is going to be in favor of black people all over the world. That is exactly what we are going to do. We will drive a narrative that is going to be beneficial to every black man that is all over the world. But does not mean our territorial integrity will be standard. Our security will be standard. But we will welcome them from across every nations of earth. As long as you are a black man who is actually looking for a place where you are going to come and cultivate and work towards the nation building as per the law of the nation, you are welcome. We will have bilateral relationship. Of course, the multilateralism that you have with the West or with the US, it is killing you. It is not doing anything beneficial to you. Those are part of it. But I can assure you, in all things, I am from Igbo ethnic group, but we are fighting to restore the land of Biafra, which is our sovereign nation. The nation of Biafra. After the nation of Biafra, if you want to go to your cocoon and tell yourself you are Igbo, that is your Igbo-ness. But our nation must be built on an equal ground. Nobody will be prejudiced against. You continue to believe in your faith. You continue to believe in whatever you pray to, your religion or whatever you are affiliated with, as long as you are not going to use it against the mind of the demographic majority. If you want to use such your belief system, just like so many pastors are using, so many native doctors are using today, in order, like the one so many Muslim people are using in our land, like Asare Dokubo and Co., in order to use it to intimidate others and to use it to actually violate the demographic majority. We will come in and we will be prejudiced against that act, not against your belief system. Believe in it, you make it, but don't use your own evil teaching to come and actually corrupt the minds of our people. Because we are trying to mind emancipate our people, not to mind emancipate them from the, from the imperialists, and you are enslaving them in the name you are championing religion. Religion am there. All these people who are promoting our people in this, that, you should know that you are going to hellfire. Unu channel jokomo. Unu na agwo kit, unu na agwo nwunye ite, na agwo obere ite. Everywhere, every corner now, a na-agwozi oke ite, ndị nna alụlụ ọlụ, ndị nna ekpele ekpele. Criminals all over the place. You are now competing with the Christian pastors. Kunu gbanu private jet, ndị dibịa na-agbakuzi ma private jet. Oh, yoga wukuzi. Of course, Christian pastors, they have bastardized everything. They have bastardized everything in the name of Christ. But my own anger is that those who are the followers of these people, they don't read the book they call the book of Christianity, which is the Bible. If they go through that book, they will understand the manipulation. They will understand everything that is being used against them. They will understand that this book, you are not supposed to, make anyone teach you this book. You will study this book because it is part of you. It is whom you are. Study it to know it, because in the wrong hand, it will do evil. Of course, so many people were growing up, they watched the movie called Titanic. They didn't believe that Titanic is a real thing that happened. It is a real thing that happened. It is actually a movie. It is a true life story. If not this submersible disappearance or implosion in the depth of the high sea, you will not even, so many of you might not know that the Titanic is in the depth of this Atlantic Ocean. You will not realize, but because you see that many things, or because, of course, many things that they show you in the movie, these things are reality. It is most of them are driven by true life story or something that is projected to happen in future. Some of them, they do the movie called Matrix. When you watch Matrix, you might not understand the real true meaning of Matrix. The Matrix is happening now. The time of artificial intelligence. It is where we are. The only catastrophic event that will happen when this artificial intelligence starts getting emotion. When they start giving it emotion, that will be the time the catastrophic event is going to happen in the world. That is when robot will turn against human. Because it is the burn of your emotion that is the reason why when somebody pisses you off, you pull out a gun, you blow their head off. That is because of your emotion. They hurt your ego. If that robot is giving an emotion, which is something that is very, very dangerous, believe you me, you are going to be doomed, because one time it will actually kill you. That's the way it is. So, as the world is evolving, what are you doing to make sure you do not remain as a beggar? Just like the African leaders were speaking to French, telling them and the big world that they should not be treated as beggars, because they are not ones. We don't want them to support us with their free money or fundings. They should actually make us pay so that we will be actually be a member of this, we'll be member of this global entities, or members of United Nations Council, not the artificial members of it. Because that's exactly what Africa has been all over it, all this while. Now, some African leaders are demanding for their right. Nigeria, that is supposed to be the giant of Africa, who is supposed to be a driving nation, that's supposed to be driving for decolonization of Africa and actually bring, you know, freedom of Africa. They will not do it because they are more in trouble more than every other person. The name they are answering is a curse at itself. The name itself is a curse. Nigeria. Nigeria. It is a curse. Curse that started from the Bible in the book of Acts of Apostles 11:26. Nigeria. Niger. They started this curse in Antioch. In Antioch. That's where this curse of Nigeria, Niger, started. That is the same curse that they came and named you as a nation. You are answering it after the amalgamation of 105 years ago. They gave you such name, you are bearing it. How do you think that you are going to be successful? Because they gave you evil name. It is very, very important you understand that the only way we are going to be free, we are going to save ourselves from this mess we find ourselves into, it is to understand ourselves. It is to understand that whom we are. It is to understand that we do not do these things that our ancestors did. During the time of Joseph, they sold Joseph just like you have sold Mazedam the Kano. The brothers of Joseph sold Joseph to the land of Egypt. Amara na ukwu egbalu nwa awo lift ka enyere ya. That is exactly what the brothers of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu are doing to him. They don't know that no ukwu egbalu nwa awo will lift ka enyere ya. They will be believing, no, we are dealing with this man. Without little did they know that everything they are doing, we know that, when Christ came out of Nazareth, people were surprised. How can good thing come out of Nazareth? So that is exactly what was happening during that time. It is repeating itself. That's why I am telling those who claim that they know what is Igbo, know the history of Igbo, know the ancestral origin of Igbo, know the geographical location of Igbo, pre-migration of Igbos. You should go back more and do more research so that you will understand, because we are not doing exposition of small stout and savannah. We are not doing exposition of milk stout. We are doing exposition of a history, because it is something that is going to favor us. Not a bụrụ pụta ị na-aṅụ nkwụ ọkụ, ị na-aṅụ mmanya, ịṅụrụ mmanya pụta na you come out to the public and showing your ignorance. There is nothing that has Igbo ethnicity has nothing to do with Biafra. Biafra is a nation. Igbo is ethnicity. For those of you who don't understand it, you better understand it now. So I am going to leave it here. I believe that Mazi Chinasa Nworu will be joining soon. Will be coming online soon. So let us actually connect. So let me set up to bring you live program from this All right, I think really, yeah, 1 minute. Yeah. So 1 moment, let us actually get ready to go to Radio Biafra. Trying to connect to Radio Biafra. So 1 moment. Okay, we are going to be connected to the live exposition coming from Mazichina Samworu, live from Radio Biafra. We are going to be live on YouTube. We are going to be live on Facebook. We are going to be live on Twitter. So we are not on Twitter right now, but we are connecting. We are going to connect that broadcast in all these platforms so that because we so that Biafrans and the international community will get the first-hand information of what is happening and who is driving all these atrocities and corruption around us, who are sponsoring and driving it. So, there is no other thing to say, but the most important thing is that our people need to understand that all this envy and jealousy, it is not going anywhere. All this placing yourself in a position that you can when you are nothing. When you are nothing, it is not going to save you. Because now, when you are actually trying to demoralize people who are fighting for your freedom in the name that you know better than them, when you are so ignorant, you know nothing, it is actually going to come back to haunt you at some point. But at the end of the day, the most important thing that we need to understand togetherness. Biafrans, we need to understand the reason why Mazen Nnamdi Kanu started with the unification, because we can only march when we are complete. Understanding what is going on in Nigeria today, you know that if at every position they want to give this person, give that person, it is actually to create a rift between amongst you people, so that you will be fighting each other. You will be thinking, no, these people are favoring these people. It is creation of a rift. It will never work in your favor. So in that regard, you are actually allowing yourself for the enemy to determine what you are going to become. That's exactly what's going on. Let me join. I am going to end this broadcast. Another one is going to come on as we join Radio Biafra. But for now, until we meet again, you should know we must be consistent. We cannot change. If you look at it now, you will understand that our topic is now divided. Our topic is now divided. We have dealt with these infiltrators and their criminals. They have actually taken one path. They have taken their own, group that, of course, two part of us shall be cut off. And don't forget this prophecy, this Bible prophecy, two part of us will be cut off. So they have taken their own path and go their own way and exploiting them. So that is the reason why now the topic has now changed. We don't have time. We continue to educate our people. We continue to instill knowledge on our people on what is happening around the world politics. People are doing their exposition. People are bringing more updates with what is happening. It is a division of labor now. People are educating you in this religious manipulation. People are educating you. It is a division of labor. So no matter whichever one, whether the one you know is excelling, you continue to teach it. One day people will understand the importance of you teaching it because it will help in future. Continue to teach it. Don't look at it because you know this is something that people need to know. So, until we meet again, stay safe and stay blessed. Let's join Radio Biafra. I am not sure if Mazi Chinasanwori is not yet online, but let's join Radio Biafra. Bye for now.